Plaintiff Misty Kennedy says she started babysitting for the defendant's 2 children. And 2 weeks into it, the defendant's son became violent. Misty claims the defendant said that Misty should paddle her son if he became violent again. And she's suing her today for unpaid wages. Defendant Nicole Kimbrell insists she never paddles her children. And she claims Misty's the one who neglected them. Nicole says Misty ignored her baby's diaper rash for weeks. And then Nicole found out that Misty abused her baby. She's countersuing for medical expenses.
Start with you.
Beginning of June of 2008 of this year, I responded to an ad posted by Nicole on Craigslist. She was seeking a daycare provider for her 3-year-old and her 7-month-old. Me being a stay-at-home mom of 5 children, my husband works 70+ hours for me to stay home. I decided to bring in extra income for the house. I agreed to watch her children. That night that I spoke with her on the phone, she came over to my house to introduce me to her children and warned me that her 3-year-old could possibly act out and be mouthy at times. The first week that I was watching her children were fine. The second week came around, and I guess her son had gotten comfortable with me and being in my house and everything. He started becoming violent. He pushed my 17-month-old daughter down to the ground because she had a toy that he wanted, and he stomped on her head twice over a toy. When I dropped him off to Miss Kimbrell that night, I explained to her what he had done, and she told me that she was going to paddle him when she got home.
Excuse me, Your Honor, my son gets in trouble. He gets in timeout, and he has appropriate action taken whenever he does act out, but I don't spank him with a paddle.
Okay. Sir, that night that I told her what had happened, she told me the next day that she was going to bring a paddle to my house so I could paddle him if he acted out.
Did she?
This is what she brought to my house.
Ma'am?
I've never seen that before in my life.
Sir,
what is that?
My husband is also a witness to this.
Come on up, sir.
My husband can also...
State your name.
James Kennedy.
What do you want to tell me?
Like she said, she brought the kid over with the paddle. She said that if he acts up, to hit him with this, we don't even spank our own kids. We wouldn't do that. We put him in timeout. We wouldn't do anything.
I'm just letting you talk, sir. You don't know what's going on. She worked you to death. 70 hours a week. How you gonna see anything other than the bed when you come home?
There are days when I come home and he would be there. So, he would stay overnight with us. The first week we had him, he stayed overnight with us. So every now and then I would see him. And every time he came over, the paddle was there.
Okay, thank you.
He has to go back to work. Should I take him out of here?
Oh, you need to leave? You need to leave?
No, I'm
for
okay.
work? You good?
No, I got time off, so I'm okay.
Oh, okay, you got all right. Go ahead.
Okay. The day that she brought the paddle to me, I asked her, are you sure this is what you want me to do? And she said that yes, because that was the only way that her son was going to start behaving. And I told her I did not feel comfortable paddling her son with that stick because, like my husband said, I don't paddle our children. At some point,
this is going to relate to the unpaid wages and the personal property?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me allow her to give me some background before we get back to that.
Okay, first of all, I'd just like to say, Your Honor, that I'm a recently single mom of 2. I moved from Arizona to Texas, and I got a job. And I work really long hours, so I posted a listing on an ad on Craigslist to see if somebody could watch my children. She responded, we spoke over the phone, she seemed really nice and that my children would really be in good care. So 2 weeks go by, she's watching my children, everything's fine, then my baby develops a really bad diaper rash. So I'm like, Missy, use this, make sure you're changing her Pampers all the time. Second week goes around, it's still there. I try another really expensive over-the-counter medication. I'm like, make sure that you're on top of her Pampers every single time. After 2 weeks, basically, it was still there, so I'm like, I'm gonna pick the kids up, I'm gonna take her to the doctor. And she's like, well, why is she going to the doctor? I'm like, for her diaper rash.
Your Honor, that's not true.
She said, she has a diaper rash? I'm like, are you kidding me? For 2 weeks, I've been telling you, use these creams. I take her to the doctor, it becomes so bad that it's a yeast infection. And this was a Wednesday. Friday, I picked the kids up, and my baby has a really swollen red eye. I thought it was allergies, maybe, I didn't know. Next morning, my son's like, Miss Misty hit Kaylee. I'm like, what? I'm like, Colin, you know better than tell a lie. He's like, yes, Mommy, Miss Misty hit Kaylee. I'm like, where? In the eye. So I'm thinking back, her eye was red yesterday. I brought it up to Misty. I'm like, okay, this is coming from a 3-year-old. I got to ask her about it. And as I was showing her, I lifted up the baby's eye, and there was broken blood vessels. So I let her, and she's like, oh, maybe it was my baby. They play in the same playpen. I promise I didn't hit her. So all day at work, I have a really uneasy feeling all day. Then I pick them up that night, and I called her. I'm like, they're not coming back.
All right, let me get to her now on the unpaid wages she wants. First, do you want to respond to any of this?
Yes, please. Actually, the timeline that she's giving for that is totally not true.
All right.
There was 2 instances that her 6-month-old daughter got hurt because of her 3-year-old son. He was climbing on the side of the playpen to play with his sister, and he kicked her in the eye. I let Miss Kimbrell know that night. She said she would take care of it. The second thing that happened was her son bounced a golf ball off my front door, and it hit the baby in the face.
All right, what about the diaper rashes?
The second week that I started watching the children, the baby came to me in the morning with the diaper rash already. I took my own diaper rash cream because there was none in the diaper bag of the defendants, and I started putting my diaper rash cream on her child. Days went by. I let her know that the diaper rash was not going away.
Completely
A week
untrue,
went
Your
by,
Honor.
still nothing. I told Miss Kimbrell that she needed to take her daughter to the
It
doctor.
was there. I think she acknowledges it was there. The only issue is whether it was your fault.
Well, like I said, the second week that I picked up the children and I brought the babies to my house, I went to change the baby's diaper, and she already had a diaper rash. I started putting diaper rash cream on it.
Right.
Miss Kimbrell did go out twice on 2 separate occasions before taking her daughter to the doctor and bought diaper rash cream. The day that Miss Kimbrell took her daughter to the doctor, I watched her children up until about 1:30 in the afternoon. She picked them up from my house, took them to the doctor, brought the babies back to me to finish watching them so she could go back to work that night.
Okay, let's get to the unpaid wages you're suing for.
I have an agreement right here that was written by Miss Kimbrell,
See it, please.
agreeing to pay me $500 every 2 weeks for daycare expenses.
And what did happen?
At the beginning, she told me that she needed to buy a real estate license so she could continue her job. She asked me if I would accept $200 every week until she got her commission checks from selling.
What did happen?
She only paid me $200, and then the last time
For how many weeks?
for approximately 3 weeks.
200 each week?
Yes. And the other thing that she was also being charged for is because the first week that I started watching her children, that first Saturday, she called me an hour before I was supposed to drop the children off and asked me to watch her children overnight so she could go out with her boyfriend.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What
and I
did you
charged her for
charge?
it.
How
I
many
charged
hours?
$75.
She never told me
For the entire
$75.
night?
Yes.
How much did she tell you?
$50.
For the entire
she watched my children overnight twice,
Okay.
so I believe I owe her
you
$250.
She did it twice? Uh-huh. All right.
Sir, I'm sorry.
Did she
I have
do
a
it
calendar.
twice?
No, I did it actually 3 times. July 4th weekend, I have a
Do you have
calendar.
anything in writing?
I have a calendar that I
No,
marked
an
everything.
agreement. So see how you gave me an agreement?
No, I don't. I
Because-
just have the
okay,
receipts.
because you all have a different. Are the receipts signed by her?
No, they're signed by me.
Did she get a copy of them?
Yes, she did, except for
No.
the last
Let
2
me
that
see
she did not
whether
pay
they
me
are.
for.
Let's see the ones for the overnight. All right, this does.
The reason
appear-
why there's only 2 overnights is because July 4th weekend, I had her children from Friday until Sunday
And
morning.
do you agree?
No,
All
no,
right,
sir.
She says she doesn't agree. The evidence before me is what I can rely on. Ma'am, what do you say about these wages?
Your Honor, the only receipts that I saw were the first
No, not
2.
receipts you saw, that you paid, things that you've paid.
Right. The first week, yes, she did watch my children overnight one time.
And
Second
you
week,
failed to pay?
no, we had an agreement where we would.
No.
I'm sorry.
Did you pay
I paid $200, sir.
for the overnight stay?
I paid it all in one lump sum with the week's babysitting.
The overnight stay was $50, you said. But you said you only paid $200.
We had an agreement to where when I got my first commission check, I would pay her the amount due.
And so you didn't pay it all.
Right.
You told me you did. You said I paid it all in one lump sum. Didn't you remember just telling me that? All right, so I can't rely on your testimony anymore. I have to rely on what she's giving me. Now, the medical bills and cost of prescription is, I'm sure, based on the things you described she neglected to do and caused the health challenge or the diaper rash or
Yeast infection,
the
sir.
yeast infection. She says that it was you.
Can I
what
tell you
evidence
how-
do you have that she did it?
I work from 7:30 in the morning till 7 at night. She has my children most of the day. Do you agree? I work 5 days
Do
a
I
week.
agree?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's
So I
go
work-
over the hours.
I kept him from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night.
And so that's 12 hours, right? And
Yes,
so
sir.
that's 12 hours, so it's even. Ma'am, you have to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that it happened when she was keeping your child. So far, you have not. Therefore, I'm going to grant your judgment for the wages and property because I can rely more so on your testimony and your evidence than I can on yours. All right, have a good day. That's my judgment.